Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today we'll be working on this very special birthday gift box that I made for one of my friends. She requested I add a very special message to the top of the box, and so I used permanent vinyl and Cricut design space to do that, which is what we will be working on today. You can add whatever you like to the inside of the box, but this is what I did. And so if you guys are ready to see how I did this, please keep watching and let's get started. Starting off in Cricut Design Space, this is where I'm going to add a new project. Next, I'm going to click in text, and this is where I'm going to type out my quote. I did decide to do two different text boxes so I can edit them separately. And now we just pick a font. And so after you choose a font, you just edit however you like. I wanted these to be closer, so I'm just decreasing the line space. Also, the top, I wanted it to be bigger, so I'm just adjusting the sizes here. This message is in Spanish, and I know that it's missing that little squiggly on top of the N for the ñ, which is something I have saved separately for whenever I need to use it, since I use it a lot. And that's what I'm just adding and then just sizing. We can leave it this way, but I decided to just use a little bit of hearts here, and so I added this image, but all I really wanted was the hearts, so I just deleted everything else. You can also use contour here to remove some of those extra hearts that you don't need. And then I duplicate to add to the other side. On the left, there's also shapes here, so if you wanted to just use those hearts, you can also do that. The box that I got from Amazon is 13 by 11, and so I just added a rectangle with those sizes. That way I know the size of the canvas that I'm working with, and so I'm just going to use that for reference. Now I'll be selecting everything and grouping it together so my text doesn't move. And from there, if we just hover it over our rectangle, we can see how big our text has to be. This looks good, and so I'm just going to hide the rectangle and we can move on to make it. Here we can see our mats, and if your text comes out like this, this is a very easy fix. First, we have to cancel and go back to our canvas. Next, I think it's easier if we just ungroup everything and just hide the different colors. So that would be the hearts. From there, we're going to attach everything. And now if we just add our hearts back, this is going to be all together, and then our hearts in a separate mat. I like to move my pieces around to make the most out of my vinyl. And once you're ready to cut, we just hit continue, and I'll be cutting under the vinyl setting. Here I have my mat, and sorry my room's a mess, we were moving at the time. But now I'm just going to take my piece of vinyl and then just place it right on top of the mat like this. My mat is not very sticky, and so I'll just be using some tape on the corners. And now we are ready to load our Cricut. And so after loading our mat, all you have to do is click on the little flashing Cricut sign and we can begin cutting. This vinyl is from HTV Bronze, and so I'll also have all the materials I used down in the description below. The number of mats is based on the number of colors, and so we had white and red, so now I'll be cutting my hearts. Next is just taking the pieces off the mat and weeding. For the hearts, it was very simple. We just had to peel the pieces off like this. Since I did use this very thin cursive font, it was actually very tricky to get it off the vinyl. I decided to start off by just removing all the insides of the letters. This usually works if you have very thin pieces. I used a very sharp tweezer to try and weed out the vinyl. This usually works very well, but for some reason it was just not working for me today. And so I decided to just flip this over and try a different method. It's more of a reverse method, and we removed the backing of it. This will be exposing the sticky side, so be careful with that. But now we don't even need to use transfer tape. We're just going to be adding it right over our box. Be careful when using very thin cursive letters like this. It was also very difficult to weed it out even by doing the reverse method. I did use my very sharp tweezers, and this helped a lot. But I did have to go little by little, letter by letter, trying to make sure that all the pieces were being left behind. And sorry, my head was in the way for most of the shots. It was just that I was trying to like really see those little lines, and it was like very hard to see. I don't know what's been up with Cricut lately. The cuts have not been the greatest. I feel like this one should have worked out better. Probably if I had a deeper cut. It's okay though. Now I'm just gonna be adding my hearts, and we're just gonna add these wherever you like until we have something like this. This box I got from Amazon. I will have it linked down in the description below for you guys. It is magnetic, but it does also come with the ribbons, so these ribbons will be used to close it. It was very easy to assemble. These pieces just kind of stick together, and then the glue is very good, so it just stays. This is where the ribbon is going to go, and you get to choose black or champagne. They do come in different colors as well as glossy versus matte. This one is a black glossy box. Now it's just about assembling our box and adding whatever we want to it. Here I made some forever ribbon roses. I do have a separate tutorial on how I did those. Also, I'll have it linked down in the description below. These I feel will go good in just some styrofoam, so that's what I'm adding right here. And I'm also just sizing them, seeing if they're gonna fit okay and how I need to space them out. 4 roses seem to fit perfectly on our box, and so that's what I'll stick to. Next, I'm going to be adding some chocolates, and again, I'm just going to create a row right next to the ribbon roses. I don't want to leave the styrofoam exposed like that, so I am taking some black craft paper, and we're just going to be wrapping our styrofoam in this. I will be using just hot glue to secure this, and so we're just going to put it right along the edges and just make a block just like this. Now that we added to our box, it looks a lot neater, and so now we can begin gluing everything in place. When you're pressing in your roses, make sure that you're pressing very gently. You don't want to go all the way through. You can also use some hot glue to secure them better in place. For the chocolates, again, I did like how it looked right next to the roses, so we're just going to be placing them right alongside. And again, I did use hot glue to secure them in place. I did also want to add some fairy lights to this, but since we were moving, everything was already packed and so they weren't available to me. And so this is what our box was going to look like. For the top of the box, I did want some ribbon just to go across it, kind of like in a present shape. And so I'll just be cutting out 2 pieces of ribbon, the same color as my roses. I didn't want the edges going into the box, and so I did just first fold the ribbon just like this to give a better edge, and from there again I added more glue and then just glued it right over the top of the box. I also did make a 5th rose, and this one we're just going to be adding right on top. We will be also adding some t-shirts. I try to fold them very neatly, and so once I did that, they actually fit right inside the box perfectly. For the last part of the gift, we decided to go with the Versace perfume since this is their favorite scent. Any gift box can be made special with just the help of our Cricut machine. My ribbon roses are 15 petal roses that I also did make, and I'll have the video for you guys down in the description below. And so I hope you guys enjoyed my video and found it helpful. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and also head over to my Instagram and my TikTok for a lot more pictures and videos of my work. And just thank you so much for watching.